of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights, when homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever click you choose, you better stick to the...
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! For those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Man, now let's hop right up into this story, man. So, I know by now, a lot of us, if not all of us, have heard that a lawsuit was filed against Jay-Z along with Puffy, P. Diddy, that they had allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl. I never did a video on the story for 2 reasons. First and foremost, man, I did not believe it. There was just no way in hell that I was going to believe that Jay-Z, a rapper who was extremely famous in 2000s, raped a 13-year-old girl. Is it impossible? No, it's not impossible, but I just definitely didn't believe it. Another reason, I feel that we as black people, man, we are too quick to throw our own people up under the bus. The second that the news covers a story, the second that a white person says something about a black dude done this, done that, so on and so forth. I just feel that, we are too quick for whatever reason to snatch each other down, to beat each other down, to humiliate each other, so on and so forth, when there's no facts behind it, right? Now, one thing that I've been tripping off of lately, right? I'll see a lot of YouTubers make these stories and try to get in on the latest story. And, that's all fine and dandy, right? YouTube is definitely a hustle. We out here trying to get this bread. But I'm upset at the YouTubers who have been to prison and are in the quote-unquote so-called prison genre, right? Some of these YouTubers, and they not all black, got some big channels, right? And what trips me out is, you have some of these dudes who talk about what yards they've been on and how much time they've been and how much time they did and so on and so forth, right? And we lived by a certain code, or at least I'll say I live by a certain code, right? It's certain accusations, it's certain things I'm not going to say about a person unless I know for sure, unless I see a dude get up on the stand and testify. I'm not going to be making videos wondering, is this dude a snitch, and asking about, is that dude a snitch, because certain words I'm not going to link with people's names. It's just disrespectful unless there is solid proof, and it just trips me out because, like I said, in prison, we live by a certain code. Those of us who really took this lifestyle seriously, right? And that's why I am the way I am on YouTube. I'm not going to get on here and beef and do all that type of stuff, right? Because this lifestyle that I led is really in me. It's not on me, right? And so for these YouTubers who will see stuff like this and slander a person's name or potentially try to slander his name behind a few dollars, to me it's crazy, right? And like I said, I just didn't believe that Jay-Z raped no 13-year-old girl. Now, of course, P. Diddy is caught up in all that stuff, and so now it's almost like it's easier for someone to try to slander him. But anyway, today I seen, or maybe it was just today, well, I seen it today. It came out that there's a lot of inconsistencies with the lady who accused Jay-Z and P. Diddy of sexually assaulting her. And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, right. She's straight out lying. She's a lie. She says she's autistic a little bit or so on and so forth. So I don't know if that plays a part into it. But anyway, man, enough of that. Let's get right into this. Let me play this interview that she did, man, and give you guys my reaction. And these are serious charges, right? And let me just say one thing before I hop into this reaction, right? Having charges like this in prison by some organizations, just being charged alone in the county jail is enough to get you stabbed, have people potentially try to take your life. And these are serious allegations, right? There was a dude who was always trying to get me to make a video about if Mike Tyson would have been able to survive, him and Tupac would have been able to survive in California prisons. And I never made the video because I've been in prison with innocent people. I was in prison at the time. There was a black dude on D-Yard who got released when he had already been locked up about 12 years. And DNA proved that he was not the one who raped the lady, right? We wasn't on the yard together. I was on A or B yard at that time. I can't remember which. He was on D yard and got released. But had that man been any other color, he wouldn't have even made it. So obviously the lady who accused him of that either lied on him or was mistaken. He was one of the first who was cleared by DNA. DNA proved he had nothing to do with that allegation, right? So like I said, it's certain type of smut and disrespect. I'm not just gonna loosely put on a person's name, man. But let's hop right up into this video.
You should always advocate for yourself.
This is the lady who accused Jay-Z and Puffy of raping her, and she recently done an interview with NBC.
And be a voice for yourself. You should never let what somebody else did run your life.
With her slow ass.
A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
Now, initially before I done this reaction, I was thinking, okay, she's kind of autistic. I'm going to take it easy. But I'm telling you, man, like these dudes used to say in the hole sometimes, we be in the hole late at night. They be bamming all on the door. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. There was some old crazy dude bamming on the door, talking shit, calling everybody the N-word. And to me, it was amusing, right? But so I'm reminded of him in this instance. I'm fired up. So I'm not supposed to go light on this crazy lady because these allegations that she put on these dudes, man, is horrible. It's horrible to label an individual that. So I gotta go in on her, man. I can't give her a break.
Do you want to come forward and talk today?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
Oh, and I got so fired up, I forgot to say what I wanted to say. There is no way you can make me believe that, right, at the height of his popularity, and not necessarily maybe the height of it, but this dude wanted no 13-year-old skinny girl. No girl built like a clothespin. Come on, man. This dude is a rapper. He's extremely successful at that time. This dude could have many, many, many different women. Let's think about this, y'all. And you want to sit here and make us want to believe that out of all the women they could have had, they wanted some old skinny girl built like a boy? I mean, GTFOH, man. You already know what that is.
What I've been through, and it's been hard enough to be quiet. But, it's a chapter of my life that I'd like to close.
An NBC News review of her account found inconsistencies with her allegations. She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000 to catch a glimpse of her favorite celebrities. You weren't scared to be all alone?
No, with having autism is like feeling like you live your life in a shatterproof juggle.
Now come on, girl, you know you're lying. You slower than a sloth smoking a sherm stick.
Ball. The world's on fire. The fire is inside the ball with you, but there's no way for you to get out.
In addition to having autism, the woman says she suffered a head injury. The night of the 2000s VMAs, she says a friend drove her from Rochester, New York to Manhattan, a more than 5-hour drive. Her attorney provided NBC News with the name of the friend who has since died. The woman...
Likely motherfucking story. You gave the name of the woman who has drove you 5 hours and she's dead. I'm fired up. Let's talk about it, man. Keep in mind, she was 13 years old. So what friend do you have at 13 years old that's going to drive you 5 hours? Who are you friends with? Who are you friends with that's going to drive you 5 hours to a concert and drop you off for a VMA Awards or whatever it was? You're 13 years old and they just going to drive you and drop you off? Come on, man.
As she spoke to Combs's limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party.
I stumbled upon Diddy's driver, who told me that I was exactly what Diddy was looking for.
What did you think when he said that to you?
I thought it meant that I was just pretty.
She went to a White House, she says, where she spoke to musicians Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo because, you know, I have about his tattoo that's the Last Supper, because I have a religious background. So
now here she is, right? And I don't know, I mean, now there are some, right? But I don't know how many people at the age of 13 years old are extremely religious, you know. So she's interested in this dude's tattoo. But then again, if you're so extremely religious at 13, what the hell are you doing all the way from home by yourself going to the VMA Awards? It don't make sense, man. Sometimes I gotta just break it down for y'all because y'all get caught up and believe the dumbest of shit. Come on, man, this girl is lying.
it's just something to talk about.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative of the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at the time.
What the? Now they talking about they wasn't even there. So she didn't sit back and concocted this whole story talking about she didn't talk to the Maddens and they said they wasn't even at the VMAs. Oh, come on, man. This is ridiculous.
At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter took turns raping her while a female celebrity watched.
Now, I ain't never been to none of these after parties, right? And I don't know what's going on up in there, but I know, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it real. 13 years old, a little skinny white girl with no shape, no body. I know it's a lot of freaky stuff going on sometimes, but how many people is up in there potentially would see her and not become alarmed by her presence, not question her, not get her ushered up out of there? You know, I mean, you have to be an elite entertainer, somebody with some prestigious credibility, a personality well known to get in those VMAs. Can't nobody just walk up in the VMAs. And here you have this unattended white girl, 13 years old, skinny kid looking girl, and she was able to get up in there. Come on, man. But this is the type of stuff that a lot of these YouTubers or whoever will fall for in the sake of chasing a dollar. And this is what I get so upset behind these dudes that's in the prison genre who have lost all integrity, man. There's certain stuff that I know as a convict I'm not going to do. And like I said, and like I say a lot, that's why you'll have some dudes in the level 4s programming like soldiers. They'll hit a level 3 or level 2 and be doing totally the opposite because they were just moving that way to get along. It never was in them. They wasn't a real individual. They was fearful. And so they was doing as a fearful dude would do in a situation where his life can be took.
Comes in and rapes me. He at that point I was fighting, trying to get away from him, and he put his hand over my mouth and told me to stop it, cut the
After the alleged rape, she says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up and drove her home.
We rode home in silence. He didn't ask me what happened. He didn't ask me what I did or where I was.
In an interview with NBC,
well, some father you got, you call your father, I'm assuming at a late hour in the nighttime. You tell him, I'm 5 hours away. You 13 years old. Your father drives 5 hours away to come pick you up. You get in the car. You have been sexually assaulted. He doesn't know that, but obviously you should be some visibly upset, shaken, scared, so on and so forth, whatever. And your father don't ask, where have you been? What have you been up to? Why the hell are you 5 hours away from home? Come on, man. This shit is ridiculous. Listen, all those who made videos about Jay-Z trying to slander his name, all those who said disparaging things in the privacy of their home or to a friend, y'all need to apologize to this dude. Come on, man. What do it take, man? We don't have to be Johnny Cochran or that other lawyer, that other white lawyer who was, on TV or whatever, famous for getting Matlock, famous for getting people out of stuff, to find out, man, this girl is a lie, man. And that's a serious accusation to put on the dude, man. In prison, anywhere. But in prison, there's only a few things worse than a snitch, a child molester, a rapist. Come on, man. People were so quick to jump out there and slander this dude, man. And that's why, man, it's a bunch of suckers on YouTube. I'm going to say that. A lot of y'all favorite YouTubes is suckers, man.
Her father said he could not verify the claims. Quote, I felt like I would remember that, and I don't. I have a lot going on, but that's something that would definitely stick in my mind, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone...
Now, see, I'm fired up and I didn't talk so much, so kudos to that girl's father, because a lot of parents would support their children in any situation, under any condition. But he must be smart and wise enough to say, listen, man, that Jay-Z, man, he got bread. I'm not getting myself caught up in this mess. I don't remember that. He said that would be something that I would remember. So he's not going to say, oh, yeah, I remember. I picked her up, because he knows she lying. He says, I have a lot of things going on in my life, but that would seemingly be something that I remember. So once again, shout out to that dude, man.
View on Friday, she said that she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. The inconsistencies in her account of an incident alleged to have happened 24 years ago does not necessarily mean the allegations are false. The accuser's attorney, Tony Busby, said, because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. This has been extremely distressing for her, to the point she has experienced seizures and had to seek medical treatment due to the stress. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, this incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory.
Did y'all hear what he just said right there at the end? He said, we fight from victory, not for victory. Basically saying that this is already won. She's lying. We gonna prove she's lying, and we not fighting for victory. We fighting from victory. We've already obtained a victory. And so, like I said, man, it's crazy that how if anybody that has studied anything to do with American history and the news, they have always loved gossip. As far as you can go back, there have been gossip magazines, there have been scandal magazines, all this type of stuff, right? And America has always loved that type of thing, man. To the black people out there, I say that we have got so consumed by that culture, by gossiping, by spreading stuff. I mean, look how quick, the second they say something about a person, a superstar, look how quick everybody is willing to jump all over it, to knock the man down, not give a man a chance, and all that type of stuff. And to me, it's a trip, because those of us who have been to prison, right? Those of us who have been criminals, thugs, felons, whatever you want to call it, and you have really been out there in the life, right? You don't even have to be out there in the life with it to the fullest, the most downest, baddest, toughest dude. But if you had a chance to be in an illegal life, and you've had 6-7 years in it, whether it was consecutive or broke up into patches, there obviously has been some time where law enforcement has lied on you. How many times have those of us who have been to prison, and we got write-ups, we got in trouble, a disciplinary infraction, how many times have the police or the correctional officer or somebody who has played an extension of law enforcement, how many times have they either flat out lied or embellished what happened on the 115? We see it all the time. We see it all the time on these news shows that report on these crooked cops, man. The police 9 times out of 10 is not gonna honestly put down what happened. They're gonna lie, they're gonna change the story in an attempt to get you in trouble, right? What shocks me is how these dudes who have been in a position where they have been lied upon themselves by law enforcement, knowing how law enforcement plays the game and knowing how they get down, the second they say something, we're all so quick. Oh yeah, he's guilty. Knowing that these dudes will lie, they'll plant drugs on you. They'll beat you up. You know, they enforce the law but don't stick to the law themselves. And like I say, for a dude who's not in the prison genre, just an average square civilian, I get it. I understand it. You don't know the life. But for these dudes, man, who are in the prison genre, who has spent time in prison, now they're doing the YouTube thing, I'm seriously ashamed of these dudes, man. It's like, you know, all their penitentiary integrity, all their so-called, you know, living by the code has went right out the window in to chase $1 for one of these YouTube stories, you know, to smut a person, to make a story. It's a shame, man. And so, you know, when you guys watch some of these dudes that's talking about all the time they did and they've been in this place, in this prison, man, just keep in mind that some of these dudes just went along to get along. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is, man. But it's sad.
What if you scared coming out against such powerful people?
Yeah, I'm scared of what.
You ought to be scared because you lying. Anyway, you know what? We gonna end it here, man. That's enough. Like I said, it's shameful that when a story like this breaks, you know, us as black people are so willing to want to tear each other down. Like I said, I never did a video on it because I didn't believe it. Just too many things didn't sound right to me. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I just didn't believe it. Like I said, I'm just putting myself in a position of being rich, famous. You know, you can damn near have if it's maybe 50 women in the room that whether they're single or not, you probably can have 40 of them if you choose. It just to me, you know, it didn't make no sense to me that of all people, these dudes would want to go sexually assault a 13-year-old when it's all these women in there sitting in there with their panties in their hand and so on and so forth. Man, I don't believe none of that crap. And like I said, a lot of these dudes who done slandered Jay-Z's name, it's shame on you, man. These dudes have no integrity. And you know, yeah, man, it's you know, I'm fired up. I can't even talk around this Mickey Vicky. Y'all already know what it is, though. It's your boy 16 to Life. Resume normal program.